Now, in your what do you call this? In your circles of friends, colleagues, ex-colleagues, varsity mates, what is the prevailing view? It could be mixed. It's okay. I'm not, I'm not trying to use this as some kind of survey, but I am, like I said, I'm going to use it as some kind of dipstick just to understand what the attitude out there is towards. Yes, I'm not talking to somebody who's in my specific stream of work in terms of construction project management and the SACPCMP and the BSc construction management, quantitative or architecture and all those kind of qualifications. But what is the view amongst young people like yourself towards the regulatory bodies, EXO in your instance, and voluntary associations and your institute? What is the general view, in your opinion? It's a personal thing.
Yeah, well, the view, well, there are mixed views, of course. I mean, after I've registered, there were quite a number of people, in fact, who approached me. Some were very keen on understanding the process of registering and wanted assistance because they were also keen. They wanted to register, But then, of course, there are others as well who are not convinced that they should register. And I think it goes back to that issue of being in a particular environment where such things is not important. I mean, if it's not going to stop you from, doing any like what you want to do, then why should you register? I mean, so the views are, but mainly what I've also noticed is that some people they want to register, but it's just they feel like the process itself is just too much, it's just going to take too much of their time, and I don't think it's worth it. It's worthwhile. It's just the process is just too much, and then of course there's also an issue of these annual fees. I mean, and I've seen that across board. I mean, almost everyone, including the construction project managers, and I was listening on the radio the other day, the people from medicine, everyone is complaining about the annual fees. I mean, they're asking, where is this money going to? And is it worth it? I mean, is it worth it to pay this money? It's just too much. So that's of course they are, and I would say that the depending who you're talking to and where is that person coming from, whether is that person from ESCOM or Transnet or from the private sector, the attitude is different. It varies depending on whom you're talking to. But of course, there are issues which are overlapping. I mean, people saying the same thing, whether that person from the private sector or from the public sector, like the issues of fees. I mean, some people, they'll say, like, for instance, I made an example earlier about some people saying, well, I would rather register with the Voluntary Association instead of the regulatory board, because I can see the immediate benefit of being registered with the Voluntary Association instead of the regulatory body. And so they have to, at times, have to wear, which I don't think is the right thing. I mean, it's not either or, it's both. But so the attitude is varying.
Okay. I'm going to come to the onerous registration process and annual fees, because I think that will always be with us. But I just want to find out, again, anecdotally, you got to know about the institute post-graduation. How much of that do you find that HIBO is still the case? People are only getting to be told at university about EXO, and they're only getting to find out about the Voluntary Association, which they would prefer to join, by the way, after graduation. Is that still prevalent? I know you're out of the system, but do you find that you talk to someone who's a fairly new graduate into electrical engineering and they're not aware of the institute, the Voluntary Association?
Yeah, I mean, I think some they know about the institute and they know about EXO. It's just that maybe they don't even know the difference. Some they think that it's the same thing, you know, or you can choose. What I've gathered from some that have joined us when I was, for instance, when I was at Public Works and now here in Gauteng government, is that some they don't know the difference. Mostly they don't know the difference. They might have heard now about SAED and EXO, but they just don't know the difference. And some they think you get to choose which one to register with. And I think it goes back to what you said earlier about when EXO goes to institutes of higher learning to do those to accredit those programs, they don't go with their voluntary association. They leave them behind. So the opportunity is lost to teach the students about the difference and the importance of being members of both the organization, because it is not either or, it's both. In fact, the two complement each other.
I believe so. Yeah. Well, that's very, very interesting, because it's not different to what I hear about SACP and SAIA, about the South African Council for the Quantity Surveying Profession and the Association of Quantity Surveyors, Association of Construction Project Managers, and SACPCMP. However, with specific reference to the ACPM, of which Nomvula is the CEO, and of course the former CEO of the SACPCMP, as far as I'm aware, to be admitted as a, I'm not sure exact individual member, because ACPM has corporate membership, which is for businesses, firms, and individual membership at a professional level. The qualifying criteria is professional registration with the SACPCMP. So you cannot be I forget the terminology now with ACPM, unless and until you are registered as a PRCPM by the SACPCMP. You'll become an associate member. I think, there's full member or associate member and corporate member. And so for me, speaking about complementarity, if that's the correct English, that specific voluntary association, ACPM, you cannot be a full member if you are not registered with that specific regulatory body, SACPCMP in this instance, as a PR something. So whereas it would seem that, and so there's the mutual reinforcement. The two are mutually reinforcing each other. Whereas, and I don't know how, again, prevalent this is, where the Electrical Engineers Institute category of membership does not seem to be in any way, shape, or form linked to professional registration with the Engineering Council of South Africa, it would seem.
Well, the EXO, after you've registered, they do encourage their members to become members of the South African Institute for Electrical Engineering. But it's not a prerequisite. They just say we encourage you. Yeah.
No, sure. I'm not making it. I think with the ACPM, there was a deliberate and intentional rationale to set it up like that. I was not party to it, and maybe I wouldn't even say it was. It's to our benefit, though, as the SACPCMP.
Yeah.